Hi everyone and welcome back to Baby Name Mondays. This week is a week full of love here because it is Valentine's week, and I thought I would recognise that by doing baby names that mean love for both boys and girls. And as always, I've chosen really unique and unusual names for you. Of course, it doesn't need to be Valentine's for you to want to have a name that means love for your gorgeous little baby. I remember this was definitely something I googled when I was choosing baby names, and there are some beautiful and really unique names on this list. As always, I've tried to find really rare and unique ones because I never like to repeat names or outfits. I'm in my date night outfit tonight. If you are brand new, I do a baby name video every single Monday here on YouTube, all different themes. I also run Baby Name Envy on Instagram, which also has different baby name themes. I'm a bit of a baby name enthusiast. Some would say baby name geek. I don't mind what you say. But yes, I would love you to subscribe, to follow along. You don't have to be naming a baby, I'm not. And if you are already subscribed, please do share with a friend who you think might love these names which mean love. So first up is a boy name which means sweetheart or love, and it is an Irish name, Lennan. So it is an A-N at the end, not the O-N that you would get from Lennon, which is quite a popular name, particularly after John Lennon. So if you are a Beatles fan, but you want something that has a bit of a different meaning, and it just sounds like a really cool name, doesn't it? It's such a nice name meaning, but it doesn't sound too feminine or too lovey-dovey, which I know that I would find hard getting past the husband. They're always in the way, aren't they, of the amazingest names. I think this sounds very hipster and very now, especially with Lenny as a cute little nickname, and it's unranked, so go for it if you're looking for something unusual with that gorgeous name meaning. At number 9 is a girl's name, Amorette. Amorette sounds so romantic and I absolutely love it. We are loving A names at the moment. We even love those T names like Etta, and this is a really beautiful long name. It is French and it means little love. So how beautiful is that? You could think of some absolutely beautiful middle names for Amorette. It's really easy to spell and to pronounce, and everyone would know that it means love because we're quite good at our French, aren't we, over here in England? So I think it is a beautiful one. What do you think of it? At number 8 is a boy's name, and that is the name Davis. So the name David, as we know, is really popular, and actually my first son's middle name is David because it is a very strong family name in my family, and I wanted to honour my granddad and my cousin who is named David. But I really wish I had thought of changing it up a little bit and going with something like Davis, because it suddenly just sounds much more trendy, much more modern, and it's much more unique as well. But Davis has the same meaning, which is beloved. So I just think it is so good, and it's got that V sound which is really trendy at the moment, and it's kind of on trend as a Hebrew name. David should probably be coming back into fashion soon, and it's from the Hebrew Dodavir, which means beloved of Jehovah, and that's how it originally became such a popular biblical name, didn't it? It's probably due, yeah, it's come back soon. But Davis, if you're looking for something a little bit more unique and that gorgeous meaning. At number 4 is a name that is at number 369 in terms of rankings in the UK, and it's a Welsh name, Cerys. I've always loved the name Cerys since Cerys Matthews was like a pop singer, and I loved her name so much. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas called their daughter Cerys, and it's so pretty. It sounds bang on trend, doesn't it? It sounds so modern when I listen to it now. Maybe because Cara is so popular with Cara Delevingne, or like it sounds quite like Game of Thronesy as well, doesn't it, with that strong S at the end. So Cerys comes from Caru, which means love, and the whole name means love, and it's actually on a downward trend at the moment. So if you're looking for something that is special but not totally off radar and off piste, then I think Cerys could be an absolutely gorgeous one. I don't think you need to be Welsh to use it. Actually, Mick Jagger has a daughter called Cerys, and he used a kicking curve. That's my phonics. I tell I'm a school mum, but he used a K and used it that way as well. At number 6, I don't think you could have a list about love names without the name Romeo on it for boys. I love Romeo. I remember being quite surprised originally when Victoria and David Beckham chose it, just because their other sons' names were quite different, and I was like, wow, that's like a brave name choice, isn't it? But if you kind of get rid of the associations with it being maybe slightly arrogant then I think it is an absolutely beautiful sounding name. Shakespeare names are so in fashion, and it just sounds like such a cool name. If you met someone called Romeo, they probably would get a bit of stick, wouldn't they, in their teenage years? But of course, Romeo comes from Romeo and Juliet, which is one of our most romantic plays ever, the most gorgeous film. I love the Baz Luhrmann film as well, and I would just love to be saying that name, love to be in the playground. Romeo. Yeah, just figured out what else I would say. So some say that Shakespeare didn't invent this name, but he maybe took it from a star, Romulus. So that could be where it's coming from. You might prefer Romulus. I really prefer Romeo. I love the O sounding at the end. It is so cute, and Matteo is so popular at the moment. It sort of sounds less odd now, maybe. What do you think of Romeo? 140 babies were called Romeo in 2016, so it is not that unique. Do you have a little baby Romeo? Have you had any comments about it? I absolutely love it. I love Juliet as well, to be honest. At number 5 is another unranked name, and it is a Greek name, Adelpha. How pretty is Adelpha? Can you believe this is an unranked gem, and it means beloved sister. Greek names just sound bang on vogue at the moment. I should do a whole list of Greek baby names for you because I'm kind of really into them. They're just strong but like pretty as well, and Adelpha perfectly sums up both of those things. I absolutely love the meaning. It feels very girl power, it feels very Anna and Elsa, doesn't it? Beloved sister. She could go by Del, which I always really like as a bit of a nature name, or Fifi, which I also like as a kind of quirky one. And there's also the Adelpha butterfly. So if you were into butterflies and nature names, that's another great reason for choosing Adelpha. Next up, I think of this as a boy name, but it's also a girl name, and that is the name Valentine. We couldn't have a list without the name Valentine on it, could we? And I wanted to tell you a bit about the history of Valentine's Day because I looked it up, and it is a bit unbelievable. It's strange how we now celebrate it as our day of romance, because it was named Valentine's Day because there was a king who had banned young soldiers from getting married because he felt that single, unattached soldiers fought better. But there was a saint called Saint Valentine who went against his wishes and was holding these marriage ceremonies illegally anyway, and he was actually executed, killed by the king, and that was commemorated in St. Valentine's Day. And it was a very violent day. It wasn't like a great day until kind of Shakespeare and Chaucer took St. Valentine's Day and made it kind of mean romance. And then, as we probably all know, Hallmark in America then got wind of it and started to mass produce Valentine's cards. But before then, there was a very beautiful tradition of people writing little handmade notes to each other in like Shakespearean times. So Valentine is an amazing namesake for a baby boy or a girl. I actually love it for a boy. I just think it sounds so nice and trendy. There were 13 boys called Valentine in 2016, but 5 girls as well. And obviously we have Valentina for a girl, Valentino for a boy. But I think if you're brave enough to go with baby Valentine, certainly for a middle, I absolutely love it. Next up is a very, very popular name, already at number 35 here in the UK, and that is Esme. You may have a little Esme. Of course, it is such a popular name because it is just gorgeous, and it kind of came into vogue around the time that Emily and Emma and those names sort of going out, and they wanted a bit of a vintage injection into that beautiful sound. Esme has just been booming recently. Then of course it was used in Twilight, which gave it another big cultural boost, but it's originally a literary name. J.D. Salinger's most popular novel for Esme was Love and Squalor, written in the 1950s, made this really, really popular back then as well. So it does have that real vintage cool. It's just a very unique sound, and the meaning is gorgeous. I have to do a big shout out for another name which I really want to share with you. My gorgeous, gorgeous niece Lottie was born on Valentine's Day 3 years ago. So yes, big happy birthday to Lottie, who is going to be 3 on Wednesday, on Valentine's Day. The funny story was that my sister had chosen a very old surname that she wanted to use as her baby's middle name, and that was the name Loveday. Loveday is a literal translation of the word dies amores, which meant love day, and it was traditionally a day when 2 squabbling sides would come together and try to reconcile their differences. And there was very famous love days throughout history. They were led by kings, and they would bring 2 armies together sometimes, or people who had victims and perpetrators would sometimes come together and walk through the town on the Loveday, and traditionally children then who were born on that day were named Loveday. So it was a very popular name back in the day. It gets most used around Wiltshire, which is where my sister lives, Cornwall and Devon. It stayed as a very strong, and it became a girl's name predominantly. There were 4 babies called Loveday in 2016, so it is being used, and my sister chose it as a middle name, and then strangely enough her daughter was born early, came on Valentine's Day, so we were like, oh, it's perfect. And she was like, I kind of cursed myself by choosing that as a middle name before. So yes, the gorgeous Lottie Loveday, and I was lucky enough to be there for her whole birth and hold my sister's hand, and yeah, it was a pretty incredible moment for me, and we just absolutely are obsessed with baby names, me and my sister, so she should have her own baby name channel as well. But yes, I would love some love for Lottie Loveday. And at number 1 is a girl's name, which is the name Mina. I've always really liked the name Mina, and I didn't realise it means love. So with Mia being so popular, just adding the N and changing the meaning a little bit. In Spanish and Portuguese it still means mine, but it does mean love. It's only at number 681, so it makes it a much more unique choice than Mia or Maya. And if you hear it, it just sounds quite glamorous. It's got that Hollywood cool, doesn't it? There's a few Hollywood Minas that we know. It's originally from Scotland, so if you have Scottish roots, then Mina is a great one. And it's also the Hindu version of the zodiac sign Pisces. So I didn't know that either. If you're a Pisces like me, that could be a really nice way of bringing that in, water sign in, to your baby girl's name. So those were my unique baby names that mean love, that I hope you absolutely fall in love with. Do let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know any I have missed out. As always, I love to hear from you, and I will be back next Monday with a brand new baby name video and also a couple of parenting videos throughout the week. So I would love you to subscribe, to follow along, share with a friend, and I will see you over on Instagram, and have brilliant romantic weeks whatever you are doing. Remember, Valentine's Day isn't just for men, it's for us girls to go out and celebrate our romances with our friends, who, let's face it, is going to be the loves of our lives. And I will see you all very soon. Bye guys.